Yeah,
We should have stayed together.
it will be nice.
Again, it's the same problem. See, I have here about 34 students out of hundreds. I don't know. You have another Facebook, I mean, WhatsApp group here, or it is the same?
Bushra is doing her best. She's the representative of the group too.
Who's that?
It's Bushra. I think she's here with us.
Yeah, I'm here, Sophia. Thank you.
Okay, so Bushra, do you have two groups, one for oral communication and one for composition, or is it is the same one?
Well, it's the same.
It is the same. Okay, so again, it's just, well, the ice breaking, we have already done this. So plus or minus, I know my students now. So I don't know for the other students, I don't know. So I have about 34. How many are you? You said it's the same. It's the same number, 230?
237.
How many?
237.
237. So I don't have not even 37. So 200 missing. I think they are not registered yet. So again, I think that I shouldn't have given this course because nearly all the students are going to be absent. So just a little introduction maybe, and then we go away just like the first session. Okay, so in this course, we are going to talk about composition. So what I want you to do in this composition is to look at your language first. Before anything, you have to look at your language. So if we talk about composition, what is the meaning of composition? Can someone give me the meaning of composition? What do you mean by it?
I can.
Anyone to give me a sort of a definition or an explanation of what is a composition? No one? So I'll tell you what is composition. Composition is the art of composing. That is composition. It is how you compose your writing, how you compose your thoughts, how to put your thoughts on paper. So this is what we are going to be learning this year. But of course, to write, you have to have some vocabulary, you have to have some grammar, you have to have some prerequisites before you start writing. So I'll tell you here, just before we start anything, the way I work. So how do I give this lesson? What is the most important thing for me is the techniques of writing. So I don't care about the students' ideas. Once we go to the exam, I do not care about the ideas. What I care about is the way you write, the techniques of writing. I'll explain. For example, any piece of writing is going to be composed obligatory. And here I'm talking about any piece of writing. Any piece of writing, which means that it can be an essay, it can be a letter writing, it can be an oral presentation, it can be a research paper, it can be a report. So any piece of writing, you have to start with a paragraph, a single paragraph, if it's not more, which is, it takes the place of the introduction. And then once you write what you're going to write, you always, obligatory again, finish by a conclusion. So these are obligatory. For example, if I receive in the exam a piece of work where I have one block, a block is a paragraph. And then the student is telling me very nice ideas there. Of course, that I don't understand because the ideas are not well developed. This is not an essay. This is not art. This is not a piece of writing. It's just a block of words. It's not an essay. It's not composite. It's just a block of words. And I don't like to finish the semester of my students writing blocks of words. This is not what we want. Okay, so what we are going to see this year is how we write an essay, and we will be doing the academic essay. What is an academic essay? It is a 5-paragraph essay. And you have seen what is an essay. Sorry, what is a paragraph? I think that you are doing a paragraph. What is the paragraph writing with another teacher? I don't know. Who is your teacher in paragraph writing?
Well, I don't remember, but I still remember that Prof. Qasbi did some.
Professor Tawil in S1.
And S1, paragraph writing. So you're going to learn how to write a paragraph. She's going to tell you that a paragraph has to have a topic sentence, and the topic sentence in the paragraph is obligatory. And you're going to be developing topic sentences, supporting sentences, explaining sentences, explanatory, developing sentences. All these are just different vocabulary to talk about the way you develop your topic sentence. Okay, so this you're going to learn with Professor Tawil. Oh, you have already done it in S1, I think.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, so it's finished, it's over. Okay, so you have seen this, how to write a paragraph. Now we are going to group these paragraphs into an essay. So in the 5-paragraph essay that we call an academic essay, it consists of a 5-paragraph essay. The first paragraph is, of course, the introduction of the essay, and then you have 3 body paragraphs, and the last paragraph is the conclusion. So it consists, the 5-paragraph essay consists of an essay of 3 body paragraphs. When we say 3 body paragraphs, it means that you're going to come up with 3 major ideas that you're going to develop in your essay. And each paragraph is going to develop 1 major idea. You finish developing the major idea in that paragraph, period, go to another line, jump a line, indentation, and you start the second paragraph where you're going to talk about another or the second major idea. Again, you're going to develop it the same way as the first one. That is, you're going to use developing sentences. You finish with a concluding sentence, or what we call a hook, and then you move to the third major idea that you're going to develop in the 3rd paragraph. So the 3rd paragraph, you jump a line, you go to a new line, you indent. Indent means that you go a little bit inside. Okay, you leave between 1.5 to 2 centimeters, and then only then you start writing. Okay, just the first line, just the first sentence. Okay, then you finish your 3rd paragraph developing your 3rd major idea with several, normally 3 minor ideas, and then you wrap up everything in the concluding sentence. Do you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah, your voice is clear.
Okay, because I see that Wissal is asking what's wrong with the voice. Okay, so this is
Can
what.
you repeat, please?
Repeat what? Everything?
Not everything, just the last thing.
The last thing is you finish with a concluding sentence, a concluding paragraph. In the concluding paragraph, you're going to wrap up. It's just the conclusion. You're not going to add any major ideas. You're not going to add any new idea, whether major or minor. So it is just like a sort of a summary of what you have already said. You're not going to add anything more in the conclusion. If you do, it's a mistake. So this is what, concerning the form, this is what we are going to be looking at in this semester. Okay, a 5-paragraph essay. So in the exam, we always go to the exam because unfortunately our students work just for the exam.
True.
It's a pity, but it's like that. So, yeah, it makes you laugh, but that's the reality. If I tell you it's for the exam, then maybe you're going to do something. If it's just for information, nobody, 0% of the students is going to work on it. So we have each time to take you back to the exam. Okay, so for the exam, once you are given a topic to write on, you're going to write a 5-paragraph essay. And the paragraph is a number of sentences, a number of ideas, and you start your paragraph by indentation. You go inside, you do not start from the beginning of the line, but you jump a few centimeters and then you start writing your sentences. One thing that I should, if I remember, I should repeat every single session for the students to work on it, and this thing is punctuation. Unfortunately, many students get a very bad mark because they do not use punctuation. Yeah. So go back to your punctuation, revise your punctuation lesson. It is important. When you have a paragraph starting with capital letter and all the paragraph does not contain a period, all the paragraph is one sentence. Even when I'm reading, I don't understand. Where's the first idea? Where's the second idea? Everything gets inside each other. All the sentences get mixed and mingled together, and I have to guess the ideas. That's not a good work. That's not the art of writing. The reader should not guess. Things should be clear. You should give the reader here. The first idea is here with a period at the end, which means that I have finished this idea. Now I'm going to go to another idea. Be careful. So it is as you're telling your reader, be careful. I'm moving to another idea. Once you move to another idea, you use the period, the full stop. You start by capital letters, and then you have to have in your sentence, of course, you have to have a subject and a verb, and if you have objects, of course, you're going to use them, and you finish your idea, you finish your sentence with a period. So one sentence equals one idea, or one idea equals one sentence. If you have two ideas to talk about, it's going to be two sentences. If you have two ideas and then you're going to explain the ideas, then it's going to be an explanation is a new sentence. It's a new idea, how you are going to explain the main idea. Okay, so be careful with your punctuation. I never stop. I'm never fed up with repeating this, and still in the exam I have this problem. And of course, many, nearly half of the copies have this problem of punctuation, and those are the ones who get a 2, a 3, or a 4, even if they're English or they have enough vocabulary, but I do not get their meanings, and it is wrong as an essay. So be careful with punctuation. I want you to go and work on your punctuation because it is it is very important. Okay, so the form that we're going to be working on is the 5-paragraph essay. The first paragraph is going to be the introduction, and in the next session, maybe if I have more students, because now I have only 37, I don't want to give a course for 37 and then repeat it again. So I'm going just to give you again a schedule or the skeleton of the course. And we are going to see the introduction after. The introduction is something that we're going to spend a lot of time on it, because it is something that is, at the beginning, is very difficult, but once you master it, it's going to be very easy. But unfortunately, it is something that is marked. Okay, again, I go back to the exam. In the exam, I look at the introduction. If I do not find what I want in the introduction, it's already half the mark is gone. Okay, we're going to see this in due time. Okay, and the second thing I want to tell you, so you know what we're going to do this year. The second thing is that we're going to work this year on the descriptive essay and the narrative essay. So what is, can anyone tell me what is a descriptive essay? No one?
Teacher is when we describe something or someone.
Exactly. Mohammed, I mean, I'm not sharing the screen because we're just talking. It's not a real course. Okay, so what we're going to see is the descriptive essay and
Yes.
the narrate. Yeah.
Yes, teacher. Descriptive essay.
And the narrative. So the descriptive, in the descriptive essay, you're going to be given a subject like, for example, describe a person you admire the most, or describe a place that you like to go when you're sad. So it's a description of a place or a person. And so just to describe, you have to have a lot of vocabularies. So one of the homeworks I'm going to give you is to collect a number of descriptive essays. Not essays, sorry, adjectives. A list of descriptive adjectives. So
Beg your
a list.
pardons, but did you say collect?
What is it?
I said, did you said collect, not to write?
You collect and you write, because you're going to send me the homework. So if you do not write, you collect, but if you do not write, how are you going to send me?
Makes sense.
Okay.
Okay.
So you have to collect. That is, look at the different. I want you to have a big number of describing adjectives for people and for places, for animals, and try to put them into sentences, try to understand them, because these adjectives, if you start using them during the semester, at the end you will find them in the writing exam. So this one is, of course, a writing exam. It's not like the oral one where you have to speak. Here you have to write. So you should have all the techniques of writing. You should have the vocabulary. You don't have the right to make grammar mistakes. In the oral, you can. I said in the oral presentation, you just give me mistakes. I love mistakes. Okay? I want you to speak with mistakes. No problem for me, as long as I understand the idea. So I want the development of the idea in that oral communication. Now here it's different. Here I'm judging the grammar. I'm judging all. You're severely marked or penalized for any grammar mistakes, which is not the case in the oral presentation. Okay, so go back to your grammar and pay attention to your grammar here. because and collect a huge number of vocabulary and adjectives that you can have as a database, so you can use in the exam and in your homework. And one thing that I'm going to be asking you is, each time I'm going to give you homework that you're going to send in my mailbox. I'm going to give you again a mailbox here, and you're going to send me the homework, and these homeworks are going to be marked for the exam. Again, half the mark of the exam is going to be about your work during the semester. I'm going to look at them, whether they are serious or not. So I see the number. For example, if during the semester I give you 10 or 8 homeworks, 8 essays to write. So at the end of semester, if you have 8 essays, you have a good mark. If you have 4 is not enough. I want more than a half. If you have less than a half, then it's a 0. And this is going to be taken into consideration in the exam. It's 50% of the mark. Okay, so you see my way of working. I want people to work during the semester. I do not like exams. So I want you to work during the semester. If you work during the semester, you just pass the exam. You have 80% chances to pass the exam and to succeed. Sufyan.
Yes.
And it's not the first time you write an I with a small cap. Great mistake here in writing. I always find this. When I find this, I'm very angry, and the mark goes automatically down. So be careful. I is always capitalized.
I'm sorry,
Whether,
but I'm too lazy to press my capture button.
yeah, no, do it, because you take the habits.
Okay.
Once you are in something serious, you have already taken the habit to write it in small caps. And then for your eyes, it seems normal to see it. For me, it disturbs me in my eyes. So try to be like me. It should disturb you. Okay, I understand that when we write in the web language, we tend to write it like that. But no, because you get the habit. For myself, when I write in WhatsApp and I want to write I write the small cap, but it hurts me in my eye, and then I erase and I use a capital I, because it is a big grammar mistake. Okay?
Yeah, I will work my skills on that.
Oh.
Yes, teacher, it is for me. I can support in I without capital.
Without
With the short I not.
a small cap, and I with a small, it hurts in the eyes. Yes, that's good. So the I, so be careful with your capitals. It's good. Thank you, Mr. Karada, for giving me this opportunity, because it is very important.
No problem.
I know that
Embarrassing myself is my profession.
Okay, so be careful with this. Be careful with the punctuation. Be careful with the formats of the composition. You have to have the 5-paragraph essay. What else I can? Sorry, I have a cold. It's not very easy for me to talk. It's not the COVID. What else?
Sorry, teacher, for bothering you, but I just have a suggestion to make. So, due to the low number of students that are present right now, how about you make a classroom in the application called Google Classroom, so you make it easier to notify other students to come and attend this live meeting?
No, are given the platform here, which is the university platform, and we have to use it.
Yes, I do understand that.
We are obliged to use it in a way. Those who do not use it, or those who do not know how to use it. So, as I know how to use it, I don't think that I'm going to let it down because it is counted for us. You see, they control whether we use it or not. So, if I don't use it, they have no way to know whether I have given a course or not. You see, it is here, it is counted for us. Now they know that I have been in contact with my students. I have talked to my students, at least for a few minutes. It doesn't matter as long as I can get in touch with you. Okay?
Yes.
Because when you use Google Meet or Classroom or something, they have no way to know. So, and you know, as Moroccans, in this case, we do what we want.
Yes, I don't. But my point is that this website is not updated enough to like give notification. So
No,
what?
you have the timetable.
We
You
have
have
a
a
timetable.
yes, you have a timetable in the faculty, and my course is Wednesday from 12:30 to 2:30 oral communication, and from 2:30 to 4:30 I have this course, which is composition. These are the timetable that if we go to the faculty, these are the your schedule. Okay, you will be present at the faculty at these times. You see, and I keep the same schedule to do the online course. Okay, so students have to stick to their schedule, and also teachers. Some teachers change because last time, if you remember, I had some students, some teachers using my time. So we have to follow the schedule and stick to the schedule. Although this from 12:30 it doesn't suit me, but
It is the law.
uh, what we have to do with it. Okay, so we go back to the course. We have 38 students here, and I hope that next time, because here, you know, it is the administration that registered the students. So we have to stick to this. Maybe because the other students, we do not have still the results.
So
So they don't know who's going to be in S2, who is going to be in S4. So they don't know. Some students have to go to S4, not S2.
okay, so you
And some
can.
students have to repeat S2 already. They have already done last year S2. So they have to have the results before finishing the registration. So I just wanted to give an overview to get a little bit in touch of the students. So I know, so this group, I had you with me in the first semester. I have you 2 times now. We're becoming family.
I'm glad. I'm thrilled.
Thank you. Okay, now this is it. So you have to collect the information, the adjectives. Let me again give you where to send me your work. A few seconds. So this one is
So the student is asking about the number of the objective we should collect.
adjectives, not objectives. Adjectives.
Adjective.
As much as you can.
Okay.
100, that's good. Okay, I cannot say. Some students would give me more than 100. Some would give me 2 pages with 10, 20, but that's not enough. That's not serious. That's not enough. Okay, but as much as you can with examples, with examples. I want you to work on them. I want you to do this, to do it again and again and again. I want you to work on it.
So you want an adjective with
Adjectives, adjectives.
adjectives with its proper phrase. That's all I'm getting from you.
Yeah.
Okay, that will be a lot of work.
Adjectives describing places, describing people, describing animals. So when you talk about a person, how his eyes, blue, round, small, the hair, curly hair, blonde, black. So
Wavy.
yeah, wavy. So many adjectives that you can find. These adjectives try to learn them, because in the exam you're going to have a descriptive essay, and you're going to need these adjectives. So better to have them in your vocabulary.
Professor,
So just yes, I want to give you the
may
mail.
I ask you, please?
Yes.
Well, we can describe the song or movie.
Sorry.
Can we describe a movie or song?
Describe.
Describe a movie or song.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Where is my? So remember, so this one, can someone write? It is composition dot 2.20. So it is composition dot 2.20 at gmail.com. So this is the mailbox where you will be sending me your homework, your composition homework. Your composition homework. It's for the semester, okay? For the time being, try already to collect as many adjectives as you can and send them to this mailbox. So do not mix. You send composition to the mailbox composition, and you send oral presentation to the oral communication box, okay? Do not mix them. Right? And so we'll be doing descriptive essay, and we will be doing narrative essay. So what is a narrative essay?
Can I answer?
Yeah.
When we talk about a narrative essay, is like we tell a story about something that happened, how was our feelings at that moment, something like that.
Exactly. So a narrative is when you narrate. Narrate or narration is telling a story. So we ask you, for example, tell us about your first experience at the university, for example. So you're going to narrate a story, what you came, how you found, and of course, inside the narration, you always have the descriptive. So that's why description or descriptive adjectives are very important in any way, in any case you're going to use them. So it's better to collect your adjectives from now. Okay? So these are the two things we're going to have in the exam. And of course, in the exam, you're going to be given two subjects, and you're going to choose one. They may be two narrative, where you can have a narrative essay and within it some description, or you can have one narrative and one strictly descriptive. So these are the two that you're going to have in the exam. Okay?
Sorry. So all the students send the homework to you, or only group 2 students?
Now you are group 2 or group 3?
We are group 2.
Now let me understand. In oral comprehension, you were group 3,
Yes.
and now you're group 2,
Yes.
and it's the same students.
Listen, we get what
Because all the groups attend all the lives of group 1 and 2 and 3.
Sorry?
All the students attend all the lives of group 1 and 2 and 3. So we are part of all the groups.
You may find some students joining every single live is
No,
Actually.
joining the live is not a problem. But I mean, for my students, these are going to be marked. I'll be correcting. I cannot correct thousands of copies. I cannot do that. I'd like to. I'd love to. But physically, it's impossible. Physically, it's impossible. So I have to correct and look at the work and the homework, composition homework. I have to listen to the videos, look at the PowerPoints, and then I have the other groups as well. I have my monograph students.
Trivia.
That's too much. That's too much.
So only group 2 students should send you
So
for the
I don't know.
composition.
I have to have only my group. So let me check again my schedule. I put it here somewhere, but where is it? Gone with the wind. I had it, but it's gone. I don't find it anymore. Okay.
May I ask you something, teacher?
Yes, I was just looking for my schedule. I can't find it. I don't know where it's gone. I don't even remember what was the name of it. Sent by the university. Okay, go on, Sufyan.
When you corrected the study skill exams, were you satisfied or disappointed?
Really, it's a bit disappointed. No satisfaction. It's rare when we teachers are satisfied, because as I just told you that whatever you do, for example, just for the composition C, in all through the years, I start by recommending my students to go check their punctuation, go check this, divide the composition into 5 paragraphs. And I repeat this all through the semester. And then even when I go to the exam, I still have one block of writing. I still have 1 paragraph equals 1 sentence. I get nothing from repeating and repeating and repeating, and disappointment is always there. Unfortunately.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you don't have to do that. What you have to do is to work, not do these kinds of mistakes.
I will do my best, man.
I hope so. Okay, so again, I think we'll stop here just to tell you that I've given you the mail address where you're going to send the work. The first work you're going to do here in this composition course is just to send the list of adjectives within, and you put the words in examples, in sentences, try to understand them, try to learn them, try to remember them. So this one you're going to send. And of course, the more you find, the more serious is your work, the better the grade. And these I don't give marks, but what I do is just I give A's or B's. So a good work I give an A or A plus, A minus or A, B plus, B minus, and then at the end I see how many A's equal this, how many B's equal this, and I then do a calculus at the end. And what you have is going to be your final, not your final, but half of your final mark. Okay, for example, a student who is very weak in English, very weak, but he does every homework on time, because when it is not on time, I don't accept it. Now I'll accept this week to receive, and then I'm obliged to receive and accept the same work next week because the other students are not here, so I have to give them a chance. But anyway, for the other works, I do not accept a work if it's not in its due time. Okay. So what else? What else I'm going to say here? I was going to say something, but I've forgotten it. Yeah. So I said for someone who's very weak in English, and he does all his homeworks, and his homework are gets a grade A or B because he has done the work and the work was serious. Okay, this person, he is very weak, but he's going to take his at least 10 or 20, 10 or 12 out of 20 at least. If he does everything with good language, he's going to receive 13. And in the exam, if he's very weak, and I see that very weak in English, he gets a 3 or 4, let's say. And then with the 4, if he has 14 or something, or a 6, he will succeed with a 10. Okay, has very big chances to succeed. Yeah, you send me for the time being only the adjectives. Okay, so that's it again. Hajar, you said that you did well, but you felt injustice. This is what all the students say. You're no exception. You're no exception. All the students say the same thing. Why? Because they are not aware of their problems. They think that what they did is good. They don't know. You don't know what is the answer. You don't know what is the right thing. So for you, you think it's a good thing. It's just like in composition. So you're going to feel injustice also in a composition, because what happens is students, when they come to do the composition, they think about the ideas, what they are going to say. And they think that if they bring good ideas, the composition is going to be good. See, students are not aware. But teachers do not care about the ideas. They care about the techniques, how you write those ideas, how you organize them from the format already of the paragraphs. When I look at the paper, I have to see at first glance very clearly the paragraphs. I can make them from the first glance. So if the format is there, then we go into the techniques. We look at the introduction. In the introduction, we are studying each sentence. Why did the student wrote this sentence? What is the role of this sentence within the introduction, within this paragraph? This is the way we mark. The students are not aware of this, although it's not a secret. We say it and we repeat it, but students tend to forget it, and they think if they give good ideas, they are going to have a good mark. Well, no, no, no. No, the good mark is going to be taken if you follow the techniques and of course the language. The language is half, of course, the mark. And the organization, the techniques is the other half. The ideas or just something that supports these things. That's all. It's just the ground of these things. We do not care. We do not judge ideas. We're not waiting for students to give us ideas we do not know, to teach us or whatever. So we do not care about the ideas. What we care about is the language, the grammar, and the techniques. And all the students who do not do this, they start talking about good ideas and they think that they did well. Unfortunately, it's not that. Yes, Sophia?
I didn't ask anything.
You didn't ask. I thought you said something. If I go back to the exam, to the study skills exam, when I ask for example, whatever it is, the time management or the what else did we note taking or something, and you say the importance or how it is to give me back what I've given you. It is how you are going to divide your time into chunks. You prioritize, you start with this, you give time to, it is how you come up with the timetable. It is to give me the techniques, not to tell me, yeah, very good, that's just what we call langage bateau. You're not telling me anything when you have tons of copies saying just timetable is very important because everybody works with timetable, even business timetable, very important to succeed. And what are you telling me here? Nothing. Has this person even revised or even has seen what we have given in the platform or in the, no. I don't know if the student has ever been present to something. The importance, anybody from the outside university can say this. Timetable is time management very important. It is success in life, in everything, especially for students. Without timetable, you cannot succeed. This is nothing. So of course, it's not right. And so students think that once they give me sentences like this, they're going to have a mark. No, no, I want something, some techniques that I have given you. I want to feel that you have been revising my courses, not to give me that langage bateau. No. And in the note taken, again, I wanted to see that in note taken, it is how you take notes, how it is impossible to write everything down. What are the techniques? How you listen carefully, you pay attention with active listening, and you take only the key points with the key words, and you put them, and it is until you go home, then you will revise everything, and you rewrite the lesson with the same day, and then there are different types or methods. That is the Cornell, the outline, and the I didn't have that. Sometimes I have the Cornell, and it is as if it is the only method existed. And there is a student who say, yes, good note taking is to use the Cornell method because it is the best. No, the Cornell method is not the only one. So I don't know whether the students knows already about the other methods. The second thing, we have said that no method is the best. You can even create your own method. The best method is the one that works for you. You see? So the exam you do not give us what we want. You just talk. You just talk. And we do not need, we as teachers, we do not need talking. We need things, we need techniques, we need methods, we need the ways how we do things, and we need the students to show us that they have benefited from our course. not to tell us that things are easy, pretty, interesting, good, important, those adjectives, vague adjectives. No, 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 it doesn't work. Okay, so this is why most of the students feel uh, injustice, because they don't know exactly. They think that they have given because they have written, and sometimes they have 3 to 4 pages in study skills, but they are empty. Just writing, 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 writing. No good information about what we have seen in the classroom. So I just want you to be aware. Teachers want back what they have given. It's not much. We do not give so many things, really, honestly. It's for you to finish. We just tell you where to go, how to look for things. We just guide you. We do not give everything. Impossible to give. We just guide you, and for you to bring more. Again, just between parentheses, I had some copies. I had some copies of students talking about uh, time time management in business. Did we talk about time management in business? We said it is also important in business, but we didn't talk about time management in business. We're not business people. We are students. And you have a student talking about everything about time management in the business world, in the workplace. Nothing to do with that. And again, what students do, that was bad again. That is, we give you a question in the exam, and what you do, you put the question in Google and you search the engine. The engine, the first thing that gives you the engine, it gives it to all the students. So all the students are going to give me the same thing. That is not the things that I have in the platform, not the things that I have in the courses or in the PDFs you receive from me, but they all give me the same thing from Google. These things we do see. Very easy. We do not even. There's one teacher who starts looking at the plagiarism programs. You see, there are lots, so many that we use. So you take sentences from the student's work, you put it in that program, and he tells you from where the student has taken this. But we said, don't bother yourself. We know that nearly everybody has taken from Google. There's a lot of plagiarism. So we know that. But at least when I find something from Google, and then I'll see somewhere, I try to see somewhere, if this person already, if he understands what we were talking about. Because sometimes, as I told you about the business people, the workplace, this person doesn't even understand what we were talking about. So it's really a 2 out of 20. Whatever he gives me, it's just not to give a 0, because it is a 0. I do not give a 0, I give 2. Okay, but normally it's a 0. But at least sometimes when I find something taken from Google, but trying to use his language, and I see some mistakes where I see the language of the student trying to put things together, sometimes I can go, depending on the writing, okay, I can give a mark. But believe me, we can see straight away whether it's the student's work or not. Sorry to tell you this. Maybe it's very negative, but I want you to be aware of this. Hello, are you still there?
Yes.
Yes, teacher. Professor, may I ask about when is the deadline of homework?
Well, this one, I will give you, try to do it this week, because next week I'm going to repeat everything now. That's why I'm not going to spend more time, as I'm a little bit tired. I'm not going to spend a lot of time with you because I'm going to repeat it anyway next week. Up to now, I have 33 students with
Okay,
me.
so
That is 32.
we must do it this week.
I'll do it this week.
Okay.
I've given you the mailbox just for this week, because afterwards, sorry, you're going to give it to me in the platform to get used to the platform.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
You see, there were some students who brought their copies to the exam copies to the faculty. Most students, most teachers didn't accept, because it's not the exam. You have one student has done his exam in 1 hour and a half, and another student spends hours and maybe days and brings his copy to the faculty hours and hours and maybe a day or days after. This is unjust. I'm not going to accept that copy. He goes around with his friends, goes to the library, goes to do a lot of research, and then bring the copy to the faculty to deposit the exam. We do not accept it. And still now, they said there are some copies in the faculty if you want to correct them. I said no. So get used to do your exam on the platform. So the mail I've given you is for this week, but for the next week, I'm going to give you homeworks in the platform. The mail is going to be for those people who come for the first time, or maybe they still need help, but they have to get used to the platform anyway. Okay, any other questions?
I think Marwa Ghazali asked about something on chat.
Who brought the exact day? No, we didn't. We have agreed among the teachers not to accept anything from the faculty.
Because I think not everything is like, for example, some professors corrected those exams, others not. I don't understand why. It depends on the teacher or what.
It depends on the teachers, because we have had meetings among the teachers, all the teachers of the department, and we have agreed not to correct. Now, once we are out, some of the teachers, I don't know why, but they just didn't do what they have promised to do. I don't know why, but they are free. But we have convenience that every teacher should correct only those through the platform.
Teacher,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes there is a problem in system. We cannot send our exams, so we decided to send it in the faculty.
No. So if there's a problem, it's just like if you're coming to the exam and you didn't find a transportation. Then it is, so the connection is just like the bus. The bus doesn't take you, it has an accident in the way, so you miss your exam. It's the same thing. Because in the platform, it is free. You don't have to pay. With only your number, your mobile phone, you can reach the platform. You do not pay any, except if you have a problem of connection, then you have to find a way. You have to see if you have a good connection before taking the exam. And then you can go even to McDonald's or a coffee, I don't know, or to a friend or to an aunt, or I don't know, you can find where to do the exam. Someone with a good connection. And you're not going to pay the connection anyway. So if there's 1% or 2% of the problem, it's we cannot change just for a few people. Khawla Abu Malih, you sent through the spoken English through the platform. And it was, how did you know that? How do you know that it was? This is the second session or the first one? And the second one, it was corrected. So, a piece of advice. If you have problems with your marks, for example, like Khawla Abu Malih, she said that she has sent through the platform and it wasn't corrected. Once you get your results, see whether you have a mark or not. If you don't have, right away, do not lose time, because once the market is closed, you cannot go back to it. So once at the first day you see a problem, straight away get in touch with the faculty, to get in touch with the teacher to see what is the problem, because there are problems. For myself, I have found that sometimes when I start correcting in the platform, okay, and then I cannot correct everything in one day, impossible. We have to be correct in several days. So once you close the platform to have some rest and you go back, sometimes things change and the name can slip out from those that are still not corrected, and it goes with those that are corrected. The teacher doesn't see it. So this is a technical problem that it happens. I don't know how or why, because in the platform they did it in purpose to change everything. Just like for the exam, the questions are taken each time. They give you something that is different. They change all the time, and it is done on purpose. So maybe this is something that happens in the same way, and the name may slip from one group to another, and then this teacher doesn't see it, and the student is kept without a mark. And you cannot go and check everything from the beginning. It's a huge work. So if you find something, just get in touch with the faculty to get in touch with the teacher. And if you have a work there, then the teacher is going to give you your mark, no problem. No, Hajar, no, don't say there's no random marks. No, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Don't say things that you do not know. No. If you don't have a good mark, it means that's something you haven't understood. You think that you have done well. Or maybe your language. Sometimes it is the language. Because we want students that have a minimum of English language.
Teacher,
Yes.
I just want to say that we all have these problems. I mean, every time we want to send something, we just find this problem every
What
time.
problem? What problem?
Connection problem, the system is blocked like that. We cannot send our work.
Maybe you have a problem with your connection. I am using the connection as well. You see, and now you're using the connection with the platform, and you're here, and I'm here.
We don't find that that thing to add our work. We don't find it.
Now, when you're out of time, of course, you don't find it. If you're given 1 hour
No,
or 1 hour and a
teacher,
half, and you pass the time, you don't find it.
Teacher, actually, I found this problem in reading comprehension and precise. I didn't find that. I didn't find it, and I sent it to the faculty in the same exact time.
What she's trying to say, teacher, is there is some malfunction in the software. So a lot of students either like use it poorly, or they have some connection problems. Because as you know, the Marco Telecom is quite a company.
Yeah, but look, when you have 100% of the students, you receive 90% of the copies. 5% are absent, and maybe 5% have problems, then the thing is working. There's no such thing as a 100%. There are always problems. Anything in life, anything in the world is never 100%. So of course, there will be some students having problems. There will be some teachers having problems. But if it's not a big number, if it doesn't exceed 10%, then it's okay. That's very good. There will be never such thing as 100%. Not even in the best countries in the world. There's never 100%. So it's not a lot of students. A lot of students have sent their work. A lot of students have done the work and sent on time, and their work is corrected. How many of you have sent to the faculty? Not much.
A lot.
No.
Teacher, I sent 2 papers, one of reading comprehension and one of spoken English.
I got 22 calls about how we can send our work to the faculty that day.
Yes,
and
but
teacher,
look, Sufyan, look, listen. Now, from the beginning of the semester, last time and this time, I always urge students to work on the platform from the beginning. But if they do not work on the platform, if they stay until the last day, they will still have the same problem. If you do not help yourself, how do you want another one to help you? Think about yourself. Think about your future. Think about your exam and work to your exam from now. Do not wait until the day of the exam and say, I don't know where. Because when I was working with you, I told you, please send me before so you can get used to it. Once you get used to it, you know where to go. But if you stay until the day of the exam, then, of course, nobody can do something for you. You have to get used to things before.
what about, teacher, if we send it in your email?
No.
Yes, I have corrected some copies that I have received in my email the same time. Because we can check the time in the email. You received the email today at 13:05. So I know it is the time. I know that this person had problems. I don't understand the person, because for me, he has a connection, because if he can send to my email, he can send to the platform. It's not a problem of connection. It's a problem of not knowing how. This person has never been to the platform. He doesn't know how. Anyway, even if it's the case, I have corrected these copies. But the physical copies, the papers that came to the faculty, we have convened not to correct them. So I have stuck to what we have said, to our decision. Now, you know, everyone has his own way of thinking. There are some people who would say, yeah, I'm okay, yeah, I agree, but then he turns his back and he does something else. There are always these kinds of people. I'm not this one. If I say something, I stick to it. There's another thing that I take advantage now that I remember to tell you. You know why sometimes that your copy is not corrected? Because you send, again, you don't know how to use the platform. You do not get used to it. I have found some copies, some guided reading copies inside my study skills copies. Why are you going to send me copies of guided reading? I do not teach guided reading. And I found a number of copies of guided reading. And I can, you know, we do not have time, so I do not have time to pick those copies, see who is the teacher, and send to the. I cannot do that work. I cannot go looking for this name, whose teacher is he, who is the group. That's a lot of work for me. I cannot do that for every student. So please stick to your teachers. If they give you a code, then keep that code. Do not ask the other students for the code. And again, I have received copies that are not mine. Copies of Mr. Belhash copies. I have received Mr. Msadaq copies. I'm not going to correct the other copies, but why do you send copies to other teachers? You create a mess in the platform. You create a mess. And then you say, why it is always the students, it's not the teachers. It's the students. You create a mess. You are given a code. Do not ask another student for his code. Each student has his own code. Not his own, but each group has its own code. If you take a code from the students from Mr. Belhaj and you use that code, your copy is going to go to Mr. Belhaj. I will not correct it. I'll give a 0 or absent because I haven't received the copy. You have sent the copy to someone else. Whose problem is this? And we each time have problems. I have a number of copies. I don't know how many copies I have now that are not mine. Now the other teachers are asking or given either a 0 or an absent. An absent is a 0 in the second session. And why do you do that? Ask the code directly from the faculty, the code of your group. And then I have copies. I receive a lot of copies that I found that they have sent me the copy and they have written that their teacher is Mr. Belhaj. I was about to send the copy to Mr. Belhaj and then I see that, well, this person is in my group. I'm his teacher, not Mr. Belhaj. A lot of students do not know even who is their teacher. So, Allah ghalib, we do our best, but Allah ghalib, we have to, each time we have to find solution to something. Sometimes it is, yes.
I think the problem is that we are studying online. So
well, it's not a problem. It's I have done a lot of formations online. Yeah. You see, I have done a lot of trainings online where I have never seen my teachers, my real teachers. I have never been to their countries, and I have my certificates, and they have all been done online with the exercises, with the marking, with everything, and I received my certificates. Everything is online. This is a time of online.
In fact, we can't get in touch with all our professors.
Sorry?
We can't get in touch with all of our professors because we don't have their emails or
we cannot give our emails. No, we cannot give the emails to teachers.
Some of them don't share anything in the NT platform. For example, in the first semester, we just see PDFs in the other platform of the faculty. So we can't have a communication with our teacher.
Whose teacher is that?
A lot of them. I'm not talking about one teacher, but some of them.
Yeah, because teachers, we are old people, and a lot of teachers do not know how to use